What's a secret you won't share with anyone in person, but you are willing to share anonymously? The first time I did acid I was by myself and ended up masturbating into an old mostly empty chocolate whey protein tub. I also pissed in it afterwards because I was too afraid to walk downstairs to the bathroom tripping as hard as I was. I also forgot about it in my closet for a year and rediscovered it totally unaware of what was inside, and I opened and smelled the contents. Worst smell you can possibly imagine. I enjoy video games, movies and TV shows more than my real life. I thought I learned how to tie my shoes when my mom showed me in pre-K, and I went around telling everyone I knew how to tie my shoes. The next time I tried to tie them though, it turned out I forgot how. But I was too embarrassed to ask for help. I didn't learn how to tie my shoes until I was 18 or 19. I don't really want to be with my girlfriend romantically, but she's my best friend, and I don't want to lose her from my life, so I won't break it off. I'm the reason my cousin is mentally handicapped. We are the same age, and when we were 7 our grandpa bought dirt bikes for us. Well, we decided to make our own trail in the woods. Took the entire summer. I put this tree branch purposely at roughly head level, just so he could duck under it and it would look awesome. The branch was heavy, but I was able to sit it conveniently between 2 trees. He was more brave than me, so he went first. Being dumb kids, we didn't wear helmets. I yelled for him to duck, but he didn't and hit his head on the branch. Got knocked backwards and hit his head again straight into the ground. I told everyone it was an accident. Grandpa sold the dirt bikes. I didn't see my cousin a whole lot after that. That was nearly 25 years ago. I see him every Christmas, and it's always the same. In a wheelchair, being spoon-fed by his mom. He can't speak. He likes to draw funny shapes. He most likely doesn't remember the incident, and I don't know if he remembers me, but that's what haunts me. When I was younger I pooped in a water slide and saw my poop floating the entire day in the pool on the end of the slide. I broke up with my ex-boyfriend because he was cheating. He and his best friend decided to break into my apartment and wait for me to get home from going out. What started out as a chance for him to talk some sense into me and get me back turned into them keeping me hostage, raping and beating me for 18 hours. I never told anyone what happened because they threatened me. My family never understood why I broke up with him, and they still invited him to family functions. I would go to holidays and he would show up. I asked them not to, but they still did. I stopped going around them and they have no idea why. I miss my nephews and nieces, but I can't go around them and risk seeing him, and at this point it's been so long since it happened that I don't think they will believe me. I just want the pain of what happened and having to lose my family over it to end, but it never does. I want to murder my daughter's childhood rapist. It was her mother's boyfriend and it happened when she was 10. I found out about this only after many years. My daughter knows that I know, but she refuses to talk about it and will not bring charges against him. Maybe out of fear, or she is moving past it. I don't know. Only the daunting specter of a life sentence in prison stops me from hunting him down and killing the bastard. If I magically got a pass from the police, 10 out of 10 he is 6 feet under. I revealed to a Reddit friend fact I am a closet schizophrenic who has had daily conversations for 40 years with my daughter who passed away as an infant. I cannot tell you how liberating it was to finally share something that I couldn't even reveal to my therapist. Now that I am Reddit outed, I've shared the news with my husband, best friend, and therapist. What did I learn? That they suspected my condition all along, and are unconditionally supportive. I've been homeless for a while and I have a job interview at CVS tomorrow at noon. I'm so goddamn terrified. I need this job so badly. I'm desperate. Edit. I got the job, guys. I was 16 and very curious about sex, surprised thanks to all of the porn in the ottoman at the foot of my parents' bed. So decided one evening that it was time for third base with the boyfriend. Only I was a natural redhead and all the ladies in the magazines had black pubic hair. It was the 80s, so I thought I was abnormal. Cut a long story short, I dabbed on black shoe polish before meeting him. Fortunately he was too nervous to go anywhere near the polished area, so he never did find out. Neither has anyone else until now. I am secretly terrified that I will never have a healthy romantic relationship. Leukemia. Calais, slowest growing form of leukemia, and there's no treatment other than stem cell, and hopefully I won't need that anytime soon, not even 40 yet. I don't look sick, even my own family doesn't believe me, so why would anyone else? I guess you need to be frail, pale, skinny and bald to have cancer, right? When I was a little girl, 3 or 4, I had a friend who came over to my house to play. She liked for the two of us to play in the doghouse in the backyard, where she would try to get me to play a game that she said her dad played with her. The game involved touching each other in ways an adult should never touch a child. My mom thought it was weird that the girl always wanted to play in the doghouse with me, and so got rid of the doghouse pretty quickly. I didn't understand what the game meant then, and it took 2 decades for me to realize just what it meant. It was like lightning just struck me one day, and I suddenly remembered the incident and understood what it meant. That little girl was abused by her dad, and I can't even remember her name. I still haven't gotten the courage to ask my mom if she remembers the girl. I've never tried to find her. I have never told anybody, and I'm ashamed of my cowardice. I fall asleep to the Donkey Kong Country soundtrack every night. I don't tell people I'm autistic in person until I've known them multiple years. Sometimes by the time I tell them, they're like, yeah, no offense, but I've known for pretty much the whole time I knew you. I own a 5-foot-tall sex doll while living with 2 grandmas and my mom. It was interesting ordering the doll and getting this big box weighing 80 pounds into the house with no one noticing. I sat outside waiting for UPS to arrive just so no doorbell was rung. Had to go through the front door, through the hallway, then into my room. Somehow I did it with no one seeing. After owning her for about a week, it's a real bitch trying to keep her clean with people around, so strategizing cleanup times in the bathroom sure is a chore. One time I had her in the bathtub to clean up and just took a shower so no one would question. Then I opened the bathroom door to see my grandma waiting to use it. I just had to pray she didn't open the shower curtains while doing her business, in which she didn't. So a few months go by. Some family needs to move in. I would now share my room with my brother and his girlfriend temporarily. I hide the doll in a big enough box inside my closest. No one knows I have this life-sized doll, and I would rather keep it that way. Actually, this is pretty funny. Could be the premise of a comedy. The only thing that stopped me from suicide is the reminder that my student loans would just pass to my parents if I did, and I don't want to inflict my bills on them or my little bro. When I was about 9, I went over to neighbor's house. I would usually go hang out with my adult neighbors because they would let me watch TV and give me snacks in exchange for helping them, with the intention of seeing if I could play with the foster puppies she had. Well, she wasn't there, but her door was unlocked and I just went in and played with the puppies. When I walked out of the house, she was coming down the driveway. There was a bunch of stuff in front of her door blocking it from view from the driveway. I just pretending like I had been waiting for a minute, and we walked in and I got to play with the puppies again. I expected this to take a much darker turn, and was pleasantly surprised. I had a baby when I was 15 and he was adopted. Closed adoption. Most painful thing I've ever gone through. He turns 18 in a few months, and if he so chooses, he can find me. I'm married and have kids now, and my kids have no idea he exists. I really want to meet him, but I'm terrified he's got mental disorders like his biological father, who is now in prison for murder. I have 2. 1. That I have night terrors that I can't even explain, usually dealing with bizarro scenes you'd see out of an American Horror Story episode. Usually about friends, family, acquaintances, old friends I haven't seen in years. Literally anyone, to the point of waking up crying and being scared to sleep. 2. That I think I am actually developing Alzheimer's at age 23. I have a hard time remembering anything nowadays. I couldn't even tell you what I did yesterday. It's as distant as being 5 years old in my mind. I don't tell anyone because I don't like the feeling of people thinking there is something wrong with me. I already struggle with the idea that I actually have autism and everyone just interacts with me to be nice. My friend from work, who is the happiest and most positive person I've ever met, is the only reason I haven't killed myself yet. I cannot and will not ever tell her that. Ate a huge sub at Subway. On my way out I let out a massive fart. I then drove to a gas station. I got out of my car and some old lady quickly parks her car behind me and angrily slams her car door. Comes up to my face and starts screaming, "Just who do you think you are? Farting in my face like that? You're lucky I didn't calls the cops on you." She writes down my license plate number and drives off fast. I stood there confused for like 5 minutes. I never told this to anyone. I would have told everyone I knew, lol.